Have I figured out the solution to all my people dying every year? Stay tuned and find out. Okay, so the theme for this episode is going to be efficiency. And one thing that I've not been terribly good at is being efficient in winter and ensuring that everyone sort of lives. This winter, however, things are a little different. This is probably the best winter yet. And as far as I can tell, no one's gonna die, but I can't be talking too much. The winter's coming to an end, and if I talk too much and don't actually pay attention to the game, people will die. So, if you've been following the series, in a previous episode, we set up this incinerator to generate heat. We sort of got familiar with how this gauge has got to be like pinned at the top to survive, but we're running low on garbage here to generate our heat. I've been doing my best to manage this over the winter. Our people are doing decent. We haven't lost too many people over this winter. One way to know you're doing well is that you go to your hospital and you don't have a ridiculous amount of people that are sick. So for this episode, I just want to make sure that this is so well set up that in future years, I don't have to really pay attention to it. But we do have some issues with our garbage incinerator, namely, like look how much garbage we have to burn here. We're just barely making enough. So one of the things I did just before recording here is I bought an extra truck here to bring some garbage in from the border. I discovered that there are no Western cargo wagons that haul trash to bring into for incinerator purposes. So I'm gonna have to just go with these trucks here and make this keep adding to this Canadian garbage supply route here. And that should help out. So we just added another truck to increase garbage production. We want to be efficient in this episode. Though I'm not going to claim the name of this episode. It's going to be Maximum Efficiency. It's a possible name. For the last episode, I wanted to call it Grand Monuments, but then I realized as I did the show, the red star was just a better one because it came up so many times, and it was a type of monument. So I think with this series, I'm not going to focus so much on like having a preconceived title before the show starts. I have like a general topic, like I say, efficiency here, right? We want to make sure that our heat supplies are very efficient here. We never want to be fully pinned, actually, to be totally truthful, but we want to be close to it, because if you're burning too much coal for no reason, for example, like if they're already warm enough, you don't need to burn extra coal, right? So for this episode, we're going to just kind of go over things. In game theory, there's this concept of imperial overstretch, and it's, I guess, military theory too, that you can only, do so much. You have to, before you can expand your empire, you have to consolidate what you have so it runs well. Like, the Mongolians, for example, are famous for imperial overstretching. They expanded so far, but then they couldn't administer everything, and it just fell apart. So the goal is to not fall apart here. Just make sure we're operating efficiently. What's happened between episodes here? I've started planning out this district here. I started doing this actually just before the recording. I was having some issues with the actual, with the machines as usual. There's always something wrong with these terrible corporate controlled companies that make these products in America. Not like China. Imagine if China actually developed operating systems without the intent of, obviously there'd be spyware, but that's no different than, the Microsoft products. I guess they say for the better experience, but even sending ads, even if you're collecting information to send me ads, that's still spying on me. I don't want that. Actually, one of the things I developed that got ignored during my entrepreneurship was a voluntary ad system where, like, instead of having like buttons on websites, it was like a point system where if you clicked it, you earned points. And you went through a central website that would tell you about these products. And you basically got paid like 25 cents or a dollar for just looking at websites. And if you break down the math, that's what it costs them to just distribute it to everyone and have a bunch of missed targets and inefficiently guess and spy on you and do all the other things that are kind of illegal and inefficient. But because I wasn't rich and didn't have the connections, that never flew. So there are alternatives to this form of advertising, but the powers that be will ensure those never come to be. So I had to shelve that project. If there happens to be a rich person out there that's watching this, get a hold of me. The message me in the channel or something. I'll get you my contact information. The way that advertising works is ridiculous in the modern American system. Western societies are incredibly inefficient. I imagine though, how if China, however, did it, yeah, sure they'd put spyware in your operating system, but I think it would just work better. It wouldn't be like the number one thing. The number one thing would probably be performance, right? Rather than extracting wealth from you, the purpose of it would be to actually make your life more comfortable. So that would be an interesting thought experiment. In our city here, one of the things I did was setting up these apartments. Now, one of the reasons why I finally decided to put apartments here, I was thinking of putting an industry or a radio station, but in the end, I decided, I thought about this overnight last night, and I was like, you know what, this just has to be apartments. I actually wanted to put higher end apartments in here, but I think it's going to be a while till we have the technology till we get the better ones. So these big 210 capacity apartments, I think, are going to be the way to go. Hold on here. I don't want them all building, though. That's the thing. That's the imperial overstretch problem. I don't want... We're going to build a few at a time, right? Actually, well, just one at a time initially. Actually, let's build this one in the middle. I think that's... I'll do the two in the middle first to go up this on both sides of this path. So that's one of the things that's been happening between episodes here. We're just trying to survive as usual. Borrowing as we go. Heat's, like, people are staying relatively healthy. I have planned out a new district over here. Again, these are just within range of the church. So the key is to like build around your church so that your radio station in the future doesn't have to be so anti-religious. I am a little bit concerned about the water supply. Our little water treatment facility here might be running, once we get some more apartment buildings built, I think it's going to be not enough. So I've kind of begun considering planning this. Maybe by next episode, this will be up and running. But you can't be like too lean and mean when you're trying to be efficient. If you don't have enough water, that's also a problem. So that's sort of being considered for the future, our water supply here. What else? Oh, hold on. There was something else I wanted to do here too. I wanted to set up, this is one of the topics, is a money truck. Because we have our money train, which has been making a decent amount of money. It's been running very nice and efficient. Actually, let me just show that real quick here. So our money train, it's just going back and forth here. As far as I know, there's no issues with it. We are still building some track here. It's almost doubled up right to the border here. We might have to park it for a little bit while we do this last little connection with our construction train. But we're almost doubled up, and that will let us get another train in the future. But the way this works is our money train just goes back and forth, and it's bringing the crops in and selling food and alcohol over seas at our warehouse here. But right now our supplies are a little, let's just check that out. I think we might be taking a bit too many. Actually, I want to reduce the amount we haul back from the route here, because to be very efficient, you want to have, you don't want to sell more than you should sell. So we were selling 60% of what we're producing. Let's tune it to 50. This is getting more and more tuned every episode, or every hour that's played. The efficiency gets better and better. And there's still some room for growth too with this line. Like we can add more wagons. And in theory, I might even consider doubling this up so that we can have one train come in and then the next swap out once our clothing supply chain goes online. But we don't have enough population to support that quite yet. Okay, so we don't have enough heat workers coming in here. Survival is always the most important thing. Whenever you have a heat problem, you should always check your hospital, because that'll be consequences of that. We have enough stuff to burn, but our workers aren't showing up. So that might mean too, we have to lower the number of workers. So let's trim this down by 10 of each. Just because I think we there's like when buses arrive, these factories will fill up fully. If other then the next bus shows up, it's supposed to proceed into this district to drop off heat workers. So indirectly, that makes our heat production a little more efficient by cutting jobs in one area. See, that's one way you make your economy more efficient. You know what? I've already kind of screwed up this episode quite a bit because I haven't done enough. I knew I was forgetting something here. I haven't told you all the topics yet. Mind you, we did get caught up a bit on the story here, so it's not, you know, completely foolishly told this story. I haven't been sick in over 3 years. I haven't had a flu or anything. And I'm going to give you some tips on that, how not to get sick. So I think that'll be a good clip. I've learned how to video edit, and I've been doing some editing. I cut out a bunch of ahs in some earlier videos, and I'm slowly improving the quality of the original recordings. Everyone talks about DOGE, but I have another idea. I actually had the idea for DOGE many years ago. DOGE was like 15, 20 years ago was the first time I was talking with friends about the idea of a department that makes the government more efficient. You know, obviously the stuff I talk about, sometimes a little ahead of its time. But I have another one that's you'll be able to hear about that's a little ahead of its time, but I think it'll happen too in the future. It just takes time. And a few other topics. Some ideas for some stupid ideas, some very stupid ideas. So that's what's coming in the episode. I should have did that earlier. I was so efficient getting to work here. I didn't pitch the story enough up front. Well, let's get back to the game here. You know, I'm going to knock some more workers off here. Let's go to 45 and let's go to 80 here. Because I do not want to have heating shortages. This is ridiculous. This shouldn't be at 0. We're going to start having hospital issues. Hate when that happens. Yeah. So let's talk about the money truck real quick. That was a topic here. So I had this route here. I think I'm just going to call it money truck. Let's find it. And it's been our prefab panel factory. Let's call it money truck right now. This is called money truck. It's not a route. It's just a truck that makes money. I want to deplete some of the capacities of our factories with goods that aren't being used, because you know, you don't want stuff, you want a product on your shelf gathering dust. That's inefficient, right? So one way to do that is to have a vehicle that's dedicated to just selling things. So this one's an open haul truck that will let me pull stuff off these shelves and sell them for money. And the current route is, let's just check this out. So this doesn't have, we'll call this, you know what? Let's revise this route here. So we'll grab some boards and we'll grab some lumber and we'll grab some boards. So let's do that. And then it will unload. And we'll do that. And then we'll assign this truck to it. Okay. Oh, we got some criminal problems here. Got to deal with that shortly. Didn't intro this show right. I'll see how that turns out. I got you caught up real quick, though, what was going on. So there's order of operations. I am trying to make sure no one dies here, as usual. But I'm just waiting for this truck to get loaded up here. It's almost loaded. And then I'm going to set it to this new route called Money Board. Or we'll call it Money Boards for Money Truck. So we're trying to be efficient, make as much money as possible. We're not spending too much money. We're very slowly adding new things to the world, right? We're only going to build one of these apartments. Double check. Don't want to accidentally be building something. And let's grab that money truck here. Let's set a route so it's making us some money in the background. Where's our money boards line? And we'll set it to that. Bam, like that. Where is it going to go? Next. Let's grab it. It's going to go to the customs house. Actually, let's go to this customs house here. That's the next step. It's the same thing, but it's going to unload prefab. And it will load prefab. So that will make us some money. And we have a ton of boards here to get rid of. Okay, so for some reason, some of our people have left. I don't know why they've left. This has been a fairly good... Okay, they're good in some of the buildings. Some of them, they're really unhappy. Maybe it was just I happened to find one there that wasn't very good. Let's just see if we can find... Okay, that one, yeah, that could use some more people. That's strange. There's a couple of buildings that were... I thought I saw another one. Yeah, this one had... Like, why are they all moved out of there? There's something about those buildings. One of the reasons I built these in the middle like this is because it's... the pollution... There's bad pollution that comes from our coal plant. And our industrial zone here produces pollution. And I was thinking of putting a radio station, but then I realized, no, that can't happen. There's a... This is such a low pollution area that the radio station, that once we discover it, has to go a little closer to a polluted area. You know, people want to have an unpolluted area to live in, so ultimately there was no other option than to make this a bunch of residential apartment buildings. Because we're short on workers and we're not getting enough heat workers in here, I'm going to temporarily, to be efficient, because we that's at 0 and we have enough stuff here to burn. Let's go a few more workers here. Go up to 7 workers, and we'll take even more workers out of here. Take 5 more out, and we'll take 10 more out of here. Yeah, there's some people have disappeared over the winter, and a little more than I thought. It's still the best winter yet, but some have left. We had a problem here in Houston over the winter. This water plant here, I screwed up. I pointed the pipes the wrong way. Like when I was laying it out, there's the toggle button, and there was supposed to one was supposed to go this way, and the other was supposed to go under, but I had it flipped backwards. And you'd think, well, that's not a big deal. You just wrap your pipe around it. There is just enough uphill gradient there that the actual flow of that pipe is the pipe that it goes over to here, right here. It has no water. So there was a guy on Reddit complaining about that, and I have to complain about that now too. That does not appear to be going uphill. And if you look, it's actually quite distinctly going downhill. Like you can see it going downhill. You can see the slope. And yet that does not have enough water pressure. That little... Again, I didn't mean to point it that way. That was just a mistake in doing that. But this, therefore, did not work. So I wasted... it took time to make that. And then upon seeing it, I realized I can't just demolish it and rebuild it again. Because it means I have to rebuild the whole plant again, which is ridiculous. But it turns out this other line here, which was intended for, water supply for this whole zone, possibly into San Francisco. I decided to upgrade that sooner. So we do have some water. And on the plus side, we actually have, now that there's water here, and this is new between episodes, our livestock farms, they both kind of work nonstop now. Before we were hauling water in, so we don't really need a water truck so much anymore. I can't control these trucks. I'm just going to leave them now. As long as our workers aren't queuing up too much at Russia and China here, I think we're good. We don't have any new real projects here because we're going to stop spending money. We just want to be efficient. We're just making things more efficient right now. The one little thing they are going to work on, however, is there is a project. I am building a new construction office over here. And if I catch vehicles building over here, I'm going to grab them. See this one, for example. This one should not be... We're kind of going to deprecate the Chinese construction office for a bit. Oh my god, we have too many. We're probably hauling away too much of our food too. So let's go to this route here, our mixed supplies, and we'll take even less. We're gonna take less because everything's going inefficient right now. It's inefficient. Our dump's filling too fast here. So we got to grab one of these dumpers here. And we got to move it in. Oh, we don't have one in there. That's why. So this guy's got to become a dumper. He's got to empty from here. And we're going to have to bring max workers. This is crazy. How is this happening? Where are all our workers? Like, surely these buses are going to drop some workers over. Okay, so this one here, it'll empty, and it's got to go to removing this waste. This is our distribution hub here. What it does is it looks for overcapacity of the big garbage containers. Oh my god, it's completely filling up and no one's showing up for work. Yeah, I gotta pause here. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Why don't they... Okay, we have too many people doing this kind of work. This has to go right down to 40 for efficiency. We want to have maximum efficiency. This is a major problem that we're not getting. So our hospital might start getting overrun soon. One thing we did previous episode, which is probably saving our bacon right now, is we added some more heating exchangers in this district that weren't dependent on garbage. So it's letting us basically be a little less efficient with our garbage heating. Well, I have a bit of an issue. My coffee supply is low for the show. I drank a little bit too much before starting the recording. So I now have, I have to really conserve it. I gotta be efficient. I'm not gonna go get coffee during a show. That'd be ridiculous. Okay, so I think that could fix things a little bit. We're just gonna get, yeah, we don't even have any garbage here at all. No one's showing up to work. I don't get it. I don't get it. Do you have enough people? See if there's any other houses there for some reason under. See, there we go. There's another one. I don't know why. Some of the houses. Are these houses? Like, a few people have moved out. See, there's another one. We're short on people, and that's why this apartment building is kind of our solution, because in winter we don't have enough workers, apparently, to man. So I'm going to make this a high priority project. That's ridiculous. Like, we can't get enough people to process the garbage. I think we have too many buses on LA Transit 1. Clockwise. Is clockwise good? Yeah, I think clockwise is good. Counterclockwise isn't so good. So I think LA Transit 2. I want to move one of these buses. Let's just check. See, this one's got hardly anyone in it. Yeah, I think what's happening is the outer perimeter routes are just moving them in circles to places they don't need to be. So they're stuck on the bus indefinitely. And that could actually, maybe just parking the bus might be the solution. Yeah, I think that, or at least, you know what, I'm going to switch it to one. There'll be a bus on one that will go to 3. And a bus on 3. This one here. This one here. No, this one here. Okay, so that one will get moved to 3. And let's grab the one with the most workers on it. Oh, this one here. And this will go to 4. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make this, we'll find this bus. And we'll make that 4. And we'll find this bus here. And we'll make it 3. We'll see how that works. I think what's happening is our buses are going in too much of a circle, so they're inefficient. So managing the transport is kind of an issue. And we're not getting enough people here. Okay. Okay, finally some people are getting in here. Finally. Okay, maybe it was queued up. But I think that there was a problem there because honestly there are no real jobs in this area. And so we already have some vehicle, like we have an express route as well. Like it's not just LA Transit 1 and 2. Like 1 goes in a loop like this. But so does LA Express 1 with smaller buses. So there's several buses doing this already. And I think that's just inefficient. I think they're like, we just want to be bringing more people from this zone into this zone. And that's, I think the main route is, like the main loop is this stop to this stop to this stop, right? That's kind of the intent of it. Let's get, okay, now we got a bit too many here. A bit too many. Let's go back down to 30 here. And then this is now probably a bit too low. This can go back up to 3. And we want to be efficient. Did some people die? Maybe, but oh well. Hospital's not overrun. That's good. So it couldn't have been that bad. Let's grab put a few more people in there. Here. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see. I'm gonna double check here. Our let's put 2 workers in here. We got all these logs. Let's you know what? This is something before. I'll probably forget to do this, but let's sprinkle some trees while we're here. Some giant pines. We'll just put some pines in the area. I don't know how much this will affect things, but we'll see how that does. And then we'll have some more trees for later. We don't really have to harvest any. We have so many stockpiled that I just want to, because we're selling some of them now, right? Okay, we got some space. See, that was a big problem. Like, for more than one reason, that was a big problem. So not only were we not processing the garbage enough fast enough to generate heat, our dump was filling up, and that would have meant we would have had waste problems in the city too. So it was just, you know, a literal shit show. Okay, I want to do another topic. Yeah, so I've learned how to do some editing, and I edited an intro video for the series, and I probably cut out me saying and like 100 times. And it's interesting how and I figured out how to like boost the audio to make it a little louder, and to, you know, cut out a bit of noise. But it's fascinating how you remove the ums and ahs and take out all the dead spots. It's much more condensed, and it seems so much better. Raw versus edited video, it's so much better to have an edited video. It's almost required for YouTube. It'd be great to think I could do this whole series uncut, but the truth is I have to invest. And in some cases, yeah, I'll cut out the ums and ahs. I think I took out almost every single one in the intro because it's like the first thing you see. I don't want too many ums and uhs, but it's and again, you just say naturally sometimes, and one or two ums or uhs isn't a big deal. I won't be editing them in future episodes, but for an intro, I think it's really appropriate. It really adds to the the quality of it. You know, you can't make a show without serious editing. It's just amazing how much work that goes into this. Uh, I talk to so many of my friends, and they're so ignorant as to what is like. They think you just turn on the camera and you record. And once, you know, 1 in 100 times you do that, you might get some views out of it, but most of the time you won't. And it's they really have no idea what's involved in this. So yeah, I'm into editing now, and I'm into editing, and now um, there should be less ums and uhs in my shows, even though I probably won't. You know, episodes like this I might not trim it too much because it's not as big a deal. Okay, great. Our winter's ending here. Wait for time. Okay, I do have a lot of topics to do. I should have pitched the start again. I kind of screwed it up. I'm kind of flustered, I think, um, with all the problems going on. Winter, really, I got to make sure the next episode doesn't start in winter. I think it'll start in like August or something. I'm thinking, and it's just so much easier when you don't have to deal with all the bull crap that comes with winter. But we're going to bring some more citizens in. The problem is we don't have enough people. That's the core problem right now. That our population's too low. Oh, one other thing I never summarized that's happened between episodes is this highway. And it was hard to see in winter, but we've been building this highway for a while. And it now goes all the way over here. It's asphalt this far, and I'm continuing to add to it. Let's just do that. We'll just add another segment to it. All right. Yeah, it's really hard to get this to be optimal. You almost need like a winter roster and a summer roster for this game. Just because it's like I can see this dump city HQ processing year round and stockpiling our supply, but the incinerator, we definitely have to be turning this off once it gets warm enough. And even though the snow is melted, we still have some issues to deal with, right? Like it's still pretty cold. It might go above 0 now and then, but that won't be enough. So let's oh, look at that. We got our research done here. So let's just quickly pause here. I want to have a peek at research options. The one thing that I think is killing us is because is our pollution, because we set up our heat facilities too close to the city. Well, I should say I set up the heat too close to the facility. So I want to actually start doing something about that. And there are some technologies to lower pollution in this game. How much is this? 800, 2100, 36. Wow, that's 6100 days before we get it. Oh, but we do get an intermediate boost at the first stage. You know what? I think maybe we'll go with the pollution. This is actually plaguing our city. The pollution. It was a bit of a mistake, I think, and I think because we don't even have the capacity. Like we're not even going to be building the radio station yet. Spoiler alert for next episode. We need some passive technologies. We don't want to always be researching things that also require resources to build. So let's go with basic pollution research, and we'll make our city a little cleaner so that people are happier in these districts, because There is no pollution meter, but pollution does affect the people. So let's go with that. I expect that I will, if I continue to do this full time, this will pay very well. That I think the topics are interesting enough. Maybe I could use some help with some people on the side, but I'm generally pleased with the way the show is evolving. It started slow, but it's getting a lot better. So, one of the things I think needs to be discussed, according to my notes here, is the next new department for that governments need. So, as mentioned, the idea of DOGE, that's something I would talk about 15, 20 years ago, friends and family, this idea that this department that goes in. And then, of course, people like Elon Musk pretend they thought about it first. And I doubt he did. 15, 20 years ago, I doubt he did. But again, he's rich, so what's it matter what I think, right? Rich people dictate what becomes popular. They control it. That's one thing I've learned the hard way in my life, and that's a big motivator for the show because otherwise you wouldn't know this kind of stuff. So I'm going to tell you something that might be 15 years ahead as well, but because I'm going to broadcast it, it won't be 15 years ahead. Someone might see it and it will be maybe a year ahead. Maybe someone will do it right away. So the Department of Government Efficiency makes a lot of sense. But what about, and I don't have the exact wording for it, but it's the Department of Bad Luck. And what it is the the premise, and it one of the things it covers is homelessness. And one of the reasons homelessness exists is because there's bad luck in the world. Not everyone has that. You can do the 99% favored thing and all the time and just say, well, yeah, I just picked the 99% favored things. I invest in those and that's how I make money, right? But every now and then, every 100th person gets, I'm like people like me get that absolute bad deal now and then. And there's no correction to it. Like there's nothing in the system that fixes it. It just, then it actually gets worse, right? That you're like, well, you made a mistake once. Now we don't trust you, even though it was just bad luck on the first mistake. It's like the way I produce this show. I think there's an issue with the algorithm where if it promotes it a little too much, and then if it gets flagged as not like they weren't edited yet. So how was I supposed to know that would be a permanent strike against it? That if like I'm just trying to upload the stuff initially, then edit it afterwards, but a number of impressions went down. This isn't explained anywhere in the notes. There's no one who teaches you this, but you have to kind of learn this. So, but in life, that's just one example of things that could happen in life. A person might not a storm. Think of people hit by tornadoes, just randomly hit by tornadoes and various other things. Katrina, all the homeless people that were caused by Katrina were undoubtedly um, like you could just talk to them on the street and it was like, yeah, they just didn't have insurance and they had no other options. And that's the other thing this Department of Bad Luck would cover. It becomes the nationalized insurance company. If you've watched the series, I've pointed out how illogical uh, the whole insurance system is, even like for healthcare, but just general insurance. It should just be a nationalized system and under the Department of Bad Luck. Okay. Now, I don't think you would call it that. You'd probably give it a more, reasonable name. Maybe the um, Department of Stability or something, or just to ensure. Basically it deals with all the outlier cases, and this isn't a thing for the Department of Government Efficiency. The Department of Government Efficiency, it just looks at dumb ideas and dumb planning and illogical logistics, and it figures things out. But the Department of Bad Luck is not so much a planning thing; it's an examination of outlier events, earthquakes, tornadoes, um, people getting cancer and having no coverage. This is not something that you can like directly like you can't specifically do something to easily control it. Like if you try to put controls in the system for it directly, you could become inefficient. Like if you screen for cancer every 3 months, that becomes inefficient, right? So it's sort of like it could also be responsible for UBI too, the Department of Bad Luck. Maybe just call it the Universal Basic Income or uh, basic essentials or something like that. It's just the widespread net for all the unplanned for stuff in life, and that the consequences. Like if you don't catch a problem right away and fix it, it spirals out of control, right? Like if you just ignore the warning messages and you don't change something in the setup, it's going like that's what the Department of Bad Luck. It's looking for things that you go, well, you know what, the system did work correctly, but yeah, the probabilities are bad things happen. So I think that's I think you'll start seeing. I don't know if that's the right name for it. Yeah, maybe you call it the National Security Institute or something. Like it just ensures that the basic income is given to people, and disasters don't slow down anything. That just moves along. It ties in FEMA and like FEMA is probably covered with that too, but a much broader. It's insurance. It's FEMA. It's all the things that just look for the outlier events, and again a little bit of policing for bad actors in there. But I think that's an idea and that'll probably solve homelessness. It would replace the insurance industry and fix homelessness, and probably a bunch of other things that like if you keep people healthier and productive, that's a good thing too. For every life you save from cancer of a productive person, all that work gets reintroduced. So that's worth millions of dollars. If you have to spend $100,000 to save a person who generates $1 million of wealth, it makes perfect sense too. It's efficient. Oh, what's this doing? We got too many. We're making too much again. We're going to go to 0 workers because there's no room. Where's our money truck? How come it's not picking up our prefab? Let's just check that out. I hope it's not doing something stupid. Where is it? Okay, it's picking up boards. Oh, I guess it just produces stuff so fast that it can't keep up, but it's got to be making money. So we got a money train and a money truck. Actually, let's rename our train while we're at it. It's a boring name here, GG1 Electric. Money train. This makes money. So yeah, let's do that. We'll keep an eye on things. So, ooh, look at that. Our highways build fast now. We got an efficient road building system. How are we doing for heat workers? Oh, we got a bit too many here. A bit too many. I think we got a heat truck. As we get into March here, I want to make sure our heat workers aren't. Oh, we got one of them. Where is he? Yeah, let's keep an eye on this guy. I think we'll park him after this. We're just so short on population. And we're going to build our radio for next episode for Brainwashed. This is almost like a filler episode just in between. You've watched it that far, so I can say that now. I wouldn't say that earlier in the episode. So, what is the most dangerous thing? I want you to think about that. What is the most dangerous thing? The answer? The thing you didn't know was dangerous. That's the most dangerous thing. Things you don't know are dangerous. It can be like, bottled water. right? Could be something like that. Little bits of plastic come from the filters, giving you cancer, something like that. And they don't even know about it, right? They can't even test for that stuff. These are the kind of things that are dangerous. And we have some indicators that there are a lot of bad things out there that under capitalist control they don't really care about. But in general, if you don't know much about it, it's the most dangerous thing. We need more food. Food workers. We'll go back up again. And yeah, it'd be nice to just saturate these, but I have to shift them around to make sure vital buildings are providing heat, right? In a way, heat is the higher priority than food because you just instantly die when you freeze. So that's not a good thing. How are we doing for time here? Oh yeah, plenty of time. Plenty of time. Oh, I'm so low on coffee. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. And I can't do anything about it. I'll just have little sips. I'll manage it efficiently. I got like a quarter cup to last me an hour. I want to get this highway going all the way around so that when we start building this water treatment facility, our trucks can get there faster. Like that's one of the reasons for this. And you'll notice I'm not building the other lane yet because you know why I'm not doing that? It should be obvious. It's because look, we got all the grid. You just go use the regular city. You don't need... Like the traffic's pretty good in our city. If there's one thing that I'm doing really, really well is traffic planning. And again, that comes from playing other games like City Skylines and Transport Fever and Tropico. Like I'm pretty good at my road planning. That's where if there's anything like there's some things that like don't put your coal plants this close to your cities. This is a huge mistake. There is pollution. Don't learn from my mistakes on that one. But this one, learn from my successes. Look at this highway along the coast. And you'll see it. Look at that. See that? This road, not connected. That's the correct way to do it. Because it would slow this down. We just want to have a couple of places when this gets built through. So even though this isn't 2 lanes in each direction, this will become, when traffic gets even crazier, this will allow for traffic to flow through there. I also like our little perimeter freeway here. This indeed will make things smooth later. And we'll make that a high priority. And I think it's time to build this next segment. There we go. All right. Like, let's say the U.S. Converts to socialism, which they could, right? It's not a... You can vote for it. It's just your laws. It's all it is. I think it, you know, obviously you'd go with like a Chinese version of socialism. But capitalism is clearly problematic. It's like these idiots, just idiots. It's not that. It's the problem is that there's no downward mobility with rich people. Therefore, there's no incentive to be smart, right? I repeat this over and over. So eventually, you got to think. Well, now you got to just have the smart people in charge. You know. So if it does switch over to socialism, you know, Bernie Sanders, AOC, these are two of the smartest senators out there. Like they're just smarter. That they can have a rational argument in a debate. You can't really beat them because they make sense. But the other people, not so much. You know, so I don't know, just an idea. So by next episode, our brainwashing is going to be very effective. We have too many people waiting for professors. Yeah. Oh, still got some people waiting here. Oh, they still want to go to school. One more professor. How are we doing here? I said I wasn't going to scratch, but I just was itchy, and I don't have enough coffee, and I'm addicted I'll start scratching. Just, you know, like meth. Coffee's my meth. I don't know if I could say that. Oops. Oh well. Let's see what happens. Mathematics, I meant. It's like math. Coffee's like math. I mispronounced it. How is our garbage heating doing? Oh, it's up to 50%. Wow. Okay. Okay. How is this doing? 40? Okay. Okay. Let's go over things here. God, we're not overly inefficient here. I think we're gonna start dragging some workers in from surrounding cities shortly. I'll do that after the recording. I don't want to. I don't ever want to do another one of these stupid winter ones. It's just ridiculous. It's too much. It's too hard. I can't focus. Oh yeah, we need some more people here, here, and let's see here. How we doing? You know, let's go with a little bit more here. I don't know if this makes much money, but it's no real cost. We're doing for bricks. Oh, we're getting up there on bricks. I think we're gonna lower our brick usage here. I think we'll go down to 1 brick worker. How's our coal? Ooh, we're running low on coal. Yeah, let's see here. Make sure our... Yeah. Yeah, we're getting this... it's maybe a little too many workers. Let's ease it down a notch. As their shift ends, I'm going to cut it down. Oh, a little itchy. Oh, just a little scratch on the side of the nose. We'll see this guy. He just picks it up just on time. It's just so tuned. I'd like it so this is almost always at capacity. Okay, some of their shifts are ending. Let's set it to 35. We're also going to have to start researching the technologies to process this stuff, because our storage bins are... What are we out of? What are we out of? It's not enough food. Okay, we need more food. Let's stop hauling so much away. Take this down another notch. Just to 10. We really got to get a lot of that trash processed. And then once this building has more workers in it, then we'll have lots of surplus food to sell. And then as we add more of these buildings, we'll then start our clothing industry, because then we'll have enough workers to do that as well. But if we run out of like water capacity, that can be an issue too. Let's just double check here. Yeah, I think we're still doing okay for water, but we do need to get that set up. I'll do that between episodes. I'll plan that at least. What's going on here? Oops, I hit the wrong button. Oopsies, paying a little bit of extra interest there. Okay. What else do we got here for topics? Oh yeah, I want to do my YouTube pitch. An idea for a YouTube. How are we doing here? I'll probably do it shortly. Let's just go over a few more things here. How are these buildings here doing? That's okay. Okay, how's our heat? Go down a little bit. Go down to 10 workers. We can start changing some of our routes here. Like we have a route. The way I set it up with these express routes is they'll go to the heat plant in winter, and I just change them so they don't in summer. So both the express routes do that, and they're only buses. I am going to stop that and that for the route. So LA Transit Express no longer delivers heat route workers, but LA Transit Express 2 still will for a bit. So we're not completely out of the woods for cold weather. Okay, I want to pitch. This is my idea. This just came in. Here's an idea for YouTube. Okay, so YouTube, if you're listening, this is an idea for your giant company and how to make it a little bit better. Just a pitch, in my opinion, and a slightly biased way to promote my show. So it's a small team within YouTube that. Hold on. Okay, I can't pitch it yet. This problem just came out of nowhere. Oh no, we don't have enough prefab panels. Do not have enough. Okay, let's just let it continue to unload. And I got an idea. Something's using those. Wow, that's building fast. Okay. I'll pitch the YouTube thing in a moment here. And we'll set that. Like that. Yeah, let's, I was sort of removing all the prefab from here. Just because I want to empty it completely. I want them to get the prefab from here. Let's completely empty out that prefab. Excellent. So we won't store prefab anymore. And we're going to set this, we're going to add more capacity for, I think, bricks and steel and boards. Yep. There we go. I think that's a lot better. And now, where do we get our prefab from? Because it's got a big buffer, right? So I want to grab from our factory. Look at this. See these? They're still coming from China. These Chinese workers, but it's an inefficient use of resources. But we're going to capture this truck here, and we're going to send it over here. We're going to park all our vehicles, and then I'm going to reassign them. And they'll like once this is built, they'll probably go in here. And these are fast trucks. These can go 110 kilometers an hour. Where does it say? 100, yeah, maximum speed 110. So these workers can go max speed around the freeway to get workers from Canada or Mexico. But we want to take them out of the Chinese construction office. YouTube, are you listening? Here's my pitch for you. Something that will make YouTube better and might help my channel. And it's the idea for a group within the company that tests different formatted shows. You might notice this show doesn't fall in a standard format. And I still think it's really good. I like the fact that I play the game and then I talk about various topics. That it doesn't seem to ever get boring on topics or boring on game. I watch gamers and I cannot watch them for this long. Like a gaming show can't last over an hour. It's boring. Okay. Likewise, if it's a show that's just nonstop topics, you get kind of like overwhelmed. You're like, okay, I can't listen anymore. It's too much content. So this is a mix of the two. It goes back and forth. Some dumb and some, I put a bit of comedy in it too. Some funny things, some idiotic things. I say ridiculous things. But the format is gaming with commentary. But the idea of this department isn't specifically for this type of show. It's for all non-conventional formats and ways to promote them. And you like someone who sits down, like, you know, there's the reviewer format, or there's the reaction formats, right, where people react to things, or there's the a challenge format where they're going to do this or that, or there's the words of wisdom format. But what about ones that mix them a little bit? And what about ones that are just not as often done, right? I think that if YouTube had a team of, you know, maybe 6 to 12 people who just focus on non-conventional channels and work on that. and maybe promote it a little bit more too, and encourage other people to follow the format, because I think this is a good. And I write a story with this too, right? So there's everything's sort of linked from one episode to the next. So it's got like, again, I don't watch. I'm so bored of regular television. Like, I think my story writing's as good as what you can get on most shows. So I don't find that kind of stuff. I like to think innovative ideas, innovations also, like innovation, just ideas. Maybe just a pitch format where just people pitch ideas, right, to audiences on YouTube with target your viewers as people with money, something like that, right? So that's my idea for YouTube. Create a team that promotes and works with non-conventional YouTube channels like this one to get a bit more traction. Oh, I never talked about how I don't, my secret to never getting sick. I did promote that at the start, so I do have to talk about that at some point. How are we doing for heat over here? It's also just nice, just nice. Got a few too many here. I'm gonna bring this down a notch. I think we'll just leave it at 25 all, because we can't, it's emptying, like it's almost not emptying fast enough, right? Oh, and our ash is full here too. Okay, we gotta pause. We got a problem. We got a problem. We gotta start bringing ash somewhere else. So auto ash is now going to go. Wish I could duplicate a route. There's no way to do that, I don't think. But let's change auto ash to. Let's go over here. I'll tell you my secret shortly as to how I never get some of my secrets. Yeah, we'll do that. Why I don't ever, like, I haven't been sick in over 3 years. And it's not like purely because I stay in a little bit more than the average person. It's a little bit foolish. You'd be naive to think that's you're sick too often. It's partly because you lack knowledge. There's some things I do. I have some habits that prevent me from getting sick. Okay, I'm going to tell you my secret. Here it is. Notes on how to not be sick. Okay, again, variety show. Maybe you'll find some of this funny. Maybe you won't. But well over 3 years since I've been sick. And I mean, I haven't had a cold. Maybe I'll sneeze if there's something, dust in my face or something like that. But not genuinely sick. But I haven't. But that's not to say I couldn't have been sick. And I've been in situations where there's people have had COVID around me, and I just don't catch it. And am I vaccinated? Well, I got the vaccine initially because I wasn't allowed to watch football without it. They wouldn't let me in the stadium. So I got my vaccine for that reason. What other reason, right? But I haven't really been vaccinated since. So that's one thing. I don't get flu shots. I don't. The things they tell you to do, that's a bit of a lie. Obviously, the pharmacy controls the media that tells you, like, if you don't do what I tell you to do, you have to do that. Okay, but what you should do is don't eat like expiry dates on food. Eat there's no such thing as an expiry date. Technically, they're all best befores. So eat as much food. Eat expired food. I had some 20-year-old jam the other day. Like it was best before, like 19 years ago. I just eat garbage in general. If any kind of old food, like, don't make your whole diet garbage. Like, don't be going through the garbage bins solely eating garbage. But eat garbage now and then. And if you don't eat garbage now and then, your system doesn't know how to handle unusual stuff. So that's one of the secrets to not being sick. The other is sometimes you can feel it coming. Like I'm sensitive to it. I detect any kind of abnormality in my throat or my nasal, like where the virus is binding to my skin. Like, and this is just a really obvious thing, but if you feel it in your nasal cavity, and if you're listening to this, maybe you just search, how do I avoid getting sick? And this is being clipped out, and YouTube's algorithms working. Mwah. Um, Blow your nose. Get a bunch of Kleenex and just blow everything out. Like, eh, go to an area. It might be noisy. It might be people might look at you and, what are you doing? You're just blowing your nose, but just blow, 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 and it'll go away. And that's one way to get rid of the virus. If you sense there's something forming, like a little bit of mucus, like abnormal, just go, what is that? What is that? Blow your nose. If it's in your throat, gargle salt water. The salt will react with the whatever's causing the issue. And if you gargle a bit of salt water, have chicken soup and add extra salt to it. Salt kills the viruses, right? So get rid of them. By blowing them out. Add a bit of salt to whatever you're consuming, and just generally don't be too healthy with your food. If you're the type of person that saves you money too, when you eat things, if you're not so picky with the quality of food, you're the one making yourself sick, but you're so brainwashed. Topic of next episode. You're so brainwashed that you think that every time something is slightly past the best by date, you should throw it out. And that's probably what's making you sick, to be perfectly honest, because I eat garbage. I'm not vaccinated. I go to crowded bars sometimes. I see people visibly sick right in front of me. There'd be sick kids, runny, snotty noses, coughing in my direction, and I don't get sick. So, I'm just telling you that's how I live my life. So, if you can learn from that, great, but you could also ignore that, and if you're sick all the time, and maybe there are some autoimmune issues with some people you can't do much about, but institutional knowledge is not isn't perfect knowledge. It might be generally good knowledge for some people, but the advice I'm giving you right now, all of the few tips, is definitely worth considering if you don't want to be sick. I got a new rule for removing people from cities. Let's just pause it, because again, I want to slow down time a bit right now. We're getting into the fun part of the game. Now, when I remove citizens from other cities, like Kansas City here, I take them out by quadrant. So I don't, when I was first showing you how to do this, I would take out sort of randomly, but now I'm very precise. If there's one person taken out of a quadrant, they're all taken out of a quadrant. And I actually have a very specific plan I want to do here. So I take them all like this. I take every single house. And I've done a bit of a tutorial on this before. Actually, have we done any tutorials this episode? I don't think so. We'll save that for next episode. This is the filler episode, and I can say that now because if you've watched it this far, actually, let's grab a few more. Well, you can't unwatch it now, right? And I generally wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe you're finding parts of it entertaining. Who knows? Whenever I watch the show, it's always better than I think it is. Like I sometimes think it's worse, and then I look at it, it's not bad. It doesn't even need much edits in the newer episodes. You notice I took full blocks, so if I go into one of those houses later in Kansas City and see that block has a single empty house, I don't check any other house on that block. That's how I sort of keep tabs of things. So I drop them in the university, and those that can't go, I find a house somewhere for them. And we always want to make sure these houses are full. Oh my god, that one cannot be empty. Because these are the ones that... and this was a bit of an issue. I won't say this was flawless this winter. Because at the start I actually ran out of water. Because people were moving out of these houses. But you want to make sure all your houses are nice and full. We're making everything as efficient as possible. I don't know if this is... maybe you're learning something from it. I don't know. Like, if you're not I'm playing the realistic mode of this game. It's so tough that you can't expect perfection. I was watching Bebo Jones, and every now and then I'll catch parts of the episode, and he's having an issue where I think he had like money issues in one of them, and it had something to do with like if you're just not on it, an issue can crop up, and he's probably like the best player there is at this game, and even he was having difficulties. So if a good player is having difficulties at this game, don't expect me to be flawless at it. I am most certainly not as good as him at the game, and you got to be on things. Things go bad, and okay, there's a few more people in our city. So let's get back to running it here. What other topic? Oh yeah, the way that intro I started with people dying. No one died, so that's good. But I do want to bring up a comment here. Stalin wasn't perfect either. He made some mistakes. Stalin was had some issues to deal with. They had a war. You can't say that was a like fair assessment of socialism. They literally had Germany bomb the crap out of them, and then they had some issues, and there was starvation. You're gonna blame Stalin, and like it was fundamentally a good idea. Stalin had to crack a few eggs to make his omelet. He had some issues. Okay, could be one of the things that held socialism back is that strawman argument, right? That some of the earliest situations socialism was tested in were some of the most difficult ones, right? So I think if you look nowadays, though, look at China. Um, I think parts of Vietnam are socialist controlled or whatever that area. Like it's heavily socialist influenced. And yeah, Stalin wasn't perfect either. If socialism would have had a better condition, initial, more prosperous times it was tried in, I think it would be way more common nowadays. We got a major problem here. No trucks coming. Can I get a fire truck? I don't have fire coverage there, I don't think. Can they get there fast enough? Why is there a fire right here? This is a bad place. Bad place for fire. Does this have any other source of electricity? This could shut down our train. Maybe it'll get there in time. We'll see. We'll see. I'll only plan if there's a problem with it. At least it's not winter. If that happened in winter, that would have been awful. I don't know what else we can do about that, though. I don't generally want to put a fire station out in the middle of nowhere for like the one facility. We could. It's fairly quick to build a new one here, but we'll see how that works. How are we doing here? Look at all this. We're just cranking out that prefab. Okay. Oh, I was wondering if someone's watching this. You know how they come up with? You ever see Zoom where they get like the 3D avatar that kind of takes over for you? Like you can become a dog or a cat in Zoom. If someone can message me below on, I want to become Trump. I want a Trump skin, and I want to look digitally with Trump. I want to be Trump on screen for some other show, okay? For a future thing. So if you know anything about that, let me know, okay? Comment below. It's definitely something I would be interested in. I don't know how to do that. There's Trump skin. Someone can get me Trump skin. I'd definitely be interested in that. Oh yeah, okay, one other thing. Oops, we gotta borrow the money quick. Be quick on that money borrowing. Think we'll get that fire? Think it's gonna burn down? Oh my god. Oh my god, is this guy gonna make it in time? Oof, that's gonna be close. When he gets there, he'll put it out instantly. This is I don't think we're gonna make it. I don't think we're gonna make it. A little bit of excitement for later in the episode. I think this will kill our train if it doesn't make it. Building. I know it's on fire. What else is on fire? How come this is on fire? This one's not a problem, though. We have a... One's a non-issue. Oh, we just fell short. Okay, I think our train's going to be killed now. Let's just double check. It's like someone logged into it just to find the one weakness. I haven't had earthquakes in a while. It's like when you're resistant enough to earthquakes, you can't have earthquakes. So I don't know. Is this train gonna work? Does it have electricity now? It's still moving. Let's see how we're doing here. Ooh, okay. We need more food. More food. And what we're gonna do is, when we get this building here, we're gonna make sure we're gonna buy some citizens right away. We'll see how that works. How are we doing for garbage? How are we doing for heat? Decent. This seems to be a little bit more stabilized. We're now putting ash over here now. And that ash will blow away. We'll see how that works. It would be nice to add another ash drop-off location in this area. We gotta... I don't know if we have a demolition crew anywhere. Do I have demolition anywhere? Just let me quickly see. Yeah, we got to assign that over here. Los Angeles demolition, yes. And we got to put some... let's just make sure it's... I didn't really plan on demolishing anything anytime soon. But what we're going to do is we're going to send this car here. Let's see who the demolition guy is. Oh, it's me. I have to take care of business. It's Brento's car. Who else can we assign to demolition? Let's just grab one from that's hauling trash in. I think we can add one later, but we're gonna see if we can catch a Canadian garbage delivery truck. Where are they? Is there one here? Yeah, that's the only one. The only one around. Oh, yeah, but this one's probably is as well, but it's full right now. So we'll send it here, and let's see if they can fix that. That they should be able to deal with this, and then it should auto repair eventually. And things are running more efficient. Was there a great lesson taught in this episode? No, I don't think so, not really. But now I'm going to share with you a very stupid idea. Very stupid. This one's up there of the dumbest things I'm ever going to say. And I'll try to say it correctly. But in this game, I think it needs more monuments. And for it to be more... it could use American monuments. If they ever come up with a version of this with American monuments, I'd be very interested in that. Like the Statue of Liberty, for example. You know, we have the Red Star here. But there's no American monuments. So here's my idea. And do you ever see these American buildings that have like, you know, like they're on stilts and then you can go underneath them and then there's a tower, or like there's a portion of it missing, but it's just reinforced on one side, so it's a bit of an optical illusion. So I had an idea for an optical illusion, a monument of the St. Louis Arc. You know, like, you know, the big arc in St. Louis, but instead of it just being a complete arc, it's missing a segment on both sides near the base. So it's just hovering, but it's reinforced in the middle to suspend itself. But it's missing the components on both sides. So that, like, just this modern idea for an abstract piece of art, it's reinforced in the middle, and that's how it stays up. So it's the St. Louis Arc, I think would be cool in this game, but like an abstract version of it with both legs missing. That I think that would add to it if they could introduce that to this game. That'd be amazing. Or just in real life if they could build it. That'd be like do it in the game first, then build it in real life in that order. If you can do it in the game, you can do it in real life, right? These simulations are made for a reason. Okay. I think we're going to start winding up here. We're through winter. And no one died. No, like we didn't have the hospital problem. Maybe that catchphrase got you watching the whole episode. I don't know. Maybe you just got sick of it immediately and you're like, oh, not this again. And that the fact that I called the episode filler. I think next episode we might do some fake job. I have one that's coming up, another fake job, and I had a couple of things I never talked about on my list here, but I think we'll save them for next recording, and it will be called Brainwashed. Okay, look at this. Look, see, this is actually very lucky. Look how lucky I am. Like some things I'm unlucky, but this is incredibly lucky. So our train shut down because we had a fire at the electric substation. I believe it's stopping it. Like I don't think the electrification, like that's our electrification node. Oh no, hold on. It's not even, it has its own power line. I don't even know what this does then. What's it oh, it's the login. Okay. But it's not a big deal because we needed to build that little gap and track. And I was actually very concerned building that would have stopped things. But now we're doubled up all the way to the border. So we're going to be able to build a rail distribution office soon and start adding extra trains now that we're doubled up. So something to consider up for our more efficient future. Maybe we'll double up a bit here. But I think we're running kind of efficient here. Look at that. It's no longer a gong show. We got a little bit. And we want to stockpile a bit. As long as we're keeping our needle in the middle here. It's 20 Celsius now, but it will still go down. It'll get cold. See, it's going down as I speak very rapidly. This is why you don't just shut it off immediately. Just look at the year. Just figure it out, right? It's eventually going to get cold. But it is running somewhat efficiently. There's no... we're not bottlenecked by trash here. We don't have a shortage of incoming garbage. Everything seems to be kind of... Like, this isn't capping out. We're emptying it as fast as we can. Everything seems to be nice and efficient. So, I guess that we'll call that an episode here. I'm just going to zoom out here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Next one will be a little better. I'll try to be a bit more organized. These Monday recordings, I'm not super on the ball. But we'll see how it turns out. Sometimes they're better than I think they are. Next episode, you might get brainwashed, though, so just a warning. Comment with this here, what you'd like to see in this show. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And yeah, I will see you next week.